Welcome back. It's been a long time. I feel like it's been, 3 weeks? Almost a month, maybe, it feels like, since we've posted anything on the page at all. Or on the channel, sorry.
Don't ask me to do math.
Alright. But yeah, here we are. Another episode.
That's rubber bands.
That's rubber bands on my face. We're recording this very close to the optimal comfort, lazy podcasting tonight. We're going to sit on the couch.
The lazy eye.
But we come bearing questions and conversation. Malignant.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we just watched that last weekend. It dropped on Friday. We watched it on Saturday night because we went to the Renaissance Festival.
Yay.
Waited an hour and almost 40 minutes in line after driving for 40 minutes to get into the place, and then we waited in line for about, I think the line was only about 10 minutes, but
Yeah, the line wasn't very long, and I felt like it took less time after I got to take a pee in a porta potty that smelled like horse trough.
yeah. That's the nice way of putting the smell of the... If those of you out there who have been to a Renaissance Festival know exactly what we're talking about how god-awful those places are. The smell is horrific, but I hate...
For the porta potties.
Yeah, the porta potties.
Not the actual...
But I hate saying this out loud because it makes me sound like a weirdo, but it, gave me more immersion in everybody, seeing so many people in costume.
If that's how you cope,
I mean,
that's how you cope.
I guess that is the only way I could cope with it. That's how I coped with it, was that way.
That's also why I don't go too crazy with costumes, because
yeah,
you don't want to have a pantaloons as you
You gotta pee in that thing.
Turn around. I'm not standing there to cover for you to have it go down your leg.
I wore ninja pants, but I made them. Well, I didn't make them. I bought scrubs that are size 7X or whatever. They're huge scrubs. So when I wear them, I mean, I'm not a little guy at all. I'm a big guy myself, but not that big. Nowhere near that big. No offense to anyone. So
they poof up like Aladdin pants.
Yeah, they drop huge. They're big pants.
And it looks more dramatic when you tuck them into your boots.
Yep, tuck them into my ninja boots, and it feels really comfortable. But those things, I could still pull them down and use the bathroom. The first year that we went, I had the same pants, same shoes set up, but I had a purple sash that I wrapped around my waist, to make myself look more samurai-esque.
You didn't drop that in there, did you?
No, I didn't. But to get that thing off, I had to unwrap myself. Because I pulled my pants up really high, so I had to unwrap myself because that thing doesn't have a fly on it or nothing. It's just pants.
Yeah, it's scrub pants or they're elastic.
And they have no pockets, which makes it...
What?
Yeah, they have no pockets on them.
Scrubs don't have any pockets?
Not the ones I wore. But...
Well, have you met a nurse?
Yeah, I mean, they need pockets, damn
If anyone needs pockets, nurses and doctors need pockets.
Yeah, they should be allowed to wear, cargo pants or something, or to start rocking vests. But yeah, I feel like we saw that.
Is that why the white coat is important?
Probably, because that's what it means. You got more.
You know what? You don't have to keep your phone in your locker. You can put it in your coat. Now you really made it. 15 years of schooling.
for three pockets. 3 more pockets.
It all makes sense.
I mean, if you look at other scrubs too, they have a little chest pocket.
Oh yeah, so once you bend over, everything falls out.
Exactly.
Love it.
Man,
what were you talking about?
We did a Mario hop, right off into a different topic. I think it's because we watched Malignant when we came back from Renaissance Festival.
Yeah, so then you're like, oh yeah.
The Renaissance Festival, yeah. Well, whatever. You guys, whoever listens to this doesn't listen to this for our, informational content. They listen to it because for some reason they like to hear us talk about random things.
Yeah,
and
we're
nonsense.
Smooth brain, as they say.
I guess. I think our first podcast I have that broke 30 views finally. I think it was our first one. Yeah, it finally got 30 views. Big numbers. We're going up.
Woo!
But yeah, Malignant was good.
I liked it.
as we sit
It
here
was
with
different.
the lab of tops is open here, and I'm looking at stuff. Looking at stuff here on the Nevermore, and it says that it got a 6.3 out of 10 on IMDb.
I still think that's more accurate than Rotten Tomatoes.
76% Rotten Tomatoes.
Because Rotten Tomatoes is, I don't know, a bunch of...
And Google gave it 67%. Like this movie.
I feel like that's a bit harsh.
Yeah, maybe.
But
I don't know.
I've definitely...
I enjoyed it.
It wasn't the same formula that we've seen 9 million times.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about it.
There wasn't jump scares every 2 seconds in the movie.
No. God, my thought just went.
It's fine. It was a thing in there that I liked, that the story was, like we were just saying, it wasn't the same story that we see every time where it's like a ghost or a spirit and stuff. And obviously, spoilers ahead, you already know that we don't really care. We're going to talk about it all the way through. And we're going to be all over the place as far as that talks about. Oh, sorry, I'm cracking my knuckles like right into the microphone.
Some people are triggled.
Sorry.
Triggled.
Triggled.
They're triggled by that.
Don't get triggled by this. But yeah.
Sounds like a Powerpuff Girls film.
Triggled.
Triggled. You can't throw that into pedestrians.
Just throwing it. He's like throwing his fingers. He takes his fingers off and he throws them, and then they come. They wiggle back. They wiggle back to him like worms, and he connects them back to his hands. That sounds like something from *Malignant*, though, doesn't it? A little bit. The creature. Well, let's just say the creature and the main villain, if you want, if you will.
A person?
Yeah, the protagonist or antagonist, whatever you want to call it.
Antagonist is the bad guy.
Protagonist is the good guy. But spoiler ahead, they end up being one and the same, which I thought was cool.
I did not see that coming, but to be fair, I did zero research.
I did as well, and I enjoyed that way more.
Because I'm tired of everything being ruined by the trailer.
Absolutely.
She's like, well, that was a good movie. Did you like that movie? It took 3 minutes. Convenient.
Look at all the parts we saw in the trailers that they show. That's a lot. But
or it's that found footage thing where they have like scenes that aren't in the movie at all.
It was none of those things. I mean, I liked that. To me it felt like it did feel familiar, because I mean, we've watched so many horror movies that we can kind of start to, I think, without even really wanting to, when we watch horror movies as much as me and you watch them, we always end up finding a category for them right away, like right off the opening scene.
Yeah.
Like, we always end, like both of us, I look over at you when some movies start, especially scary ones, and I could already see your mind's like putting stuff together like fucking Sherlock. But you're only doing that because I'm doing the same thing too, and that's how I know that you're doing it. That's because like I know she's doing it, and I look over and we both are doing it at the same time without even realizing it. That, or we'll do the thing of like we both will unwillingly or just off reflex will be like, she's gonna die, right? He's gonna be the first one to die. Or you'll be like, I hope his death is awful. I'm like, you know.
Well, sometimes they make you hate the character so you don't feel bad that they like burst into flames or whatever.
Yeah.
But sometimes they lean into that really hard, and it's like, wow, he's a super racist.
But there was none of that in this movie. I can't really think right off the top of my head of anybody I'm like, good, they deserve that. I mean,
no.
Yes and no in a way, because
I felt like I cared about the character. Like, they brought up some really real subjects there that could be trigger subjects for certain people.
Oh, you know what? As soon as I don't mean to interrupt you, but as soon as you said that, I remembered. I'm like, there was one person who we were like, good, he died, and it was the first guy who died in the movie.
Oh,
her shitty boyfriend who decided to like
Winchester.
Yeah, he decided it was okay to just grab her and WWE her into a wall.
I'm sorry. Like, yeah, I bet you are. Get out of my house.
Yeah, his name in the movie was Derek. Derek. It's Derek. His real name is Jake Abel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a fella.
Sure is.
Sure is a fella.
Sure is a guy. He got to act with Jared and.
I'll try and spit a quick picture.
Jared and Padalecki.
I'll try to spit a quick picture at him up on there when we're doing the thing.
Just go boop.
Boop.
Look, he's in Winchester garb.
Yeah, he was the one that in the movie where I was like, yeah, good. Because they made him off, like, right off the rip. Like, the movie got right into it.
Yeah, which I appreciate.
I always appreciate that.
I like slow starters. Like, when you settle into, like, a slow burn, like, 90s thriller or something. I'm thinking of a lot of good Harrison Ford movies.
Like a noir kind of almost-esque.
It doesn't have to be noir, but they do it the classiest.
Well, I mean, like, for me, that's what it is. I mean, those are the slow burns I enjoy, the noir ones. That's why I love Sin City so much.
Oh, we should watch that again.
Because, like, that is the most noir to ever noir. In my opinion, like, the whole movie's in black and white.
Well, I think the Maltese Falcon is the most noir, but
I haven't seen that one all the way through. I got the ending spoiled for me, so then it just kind of killed me for wanting to watch the rest of the movie.
No, some people are.
And I'm not going to do that to you guys listening.
Oh, yeah?
Will not do that to you guys listening and spoil the Maltese Falcon because it was spoiled for me. You should watch it and let me know what you think. A fun cameo into the movie. Like I said, we're going to just hop all over the timeline. Because we were talking about things we didn't expect in the movie. Which was, like, the start of the movie being so quick to jump into and show you, like, a kill, like, within a few minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
I can't give you exact timing because I'm not James A. Janice over at Dead Meat.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, shout out to those people. They're pretty cool.
Please be our friend.
They're pretty cool. We watch all their stuff. They're pretty awesome. But anyways, but yeah, I don't do that part. But that was cool. The way they took him out, it was so weird.
Oh, it was a gross.
The crunchy crunch sounds that you hate in fighting scenes.
I feel like it was a prosthetic.
It had to be.
Because it looked a little too real to be CG.
Yeah, because his head goes right into the side there. I think, what is it, smash his head? Is he, like, smashes his head in the doorway, or he twists it somehow? He does, like, both in, like, one motion, and it's just so, like, violent, and, like, just, it was pretty bad.
His resting pose is the one I'm picturing, where his neck was, like, separated.
Yeah.
So that poor guy probably had to either have a body cast or a body scan.
Or they could have just laid a double down and, like,
crack his head open, and then, like, there, it's the necessary sacrifice for a film. That's how you know it's a good film.
It's Hollywood, baby.
No, he sacrificed at least one virgin.
But that was crazy, though, that they did that part in the movie. And her role, too, the chick who played it, what's her name? Annabelle Wallace? Is that her real name? Is that your Christian name? Yeah, that's her.
I don't know if the titles in gray are her real name or...
No, her name's above. We're looking at ye old Google to check out stuff.
I don't understand that Mormon.
Okay. But yeah,
What's real?
yeah, she's the one who...
She did the shaking, scared, and like the eyes tearing up but not quite crying.
Yeah.
She wasn't going like... which sometimes actresses do on like sci-fi original series. You'll see.
Yeah,
the
hysterical. She's
when
hysterical.
I think cheesy acting, like it might be on purpose, it might not be on purpose. But take your pick of a sci-fi original series if you're like flicking the channels.
Yeah.
And it's like Bird Octopus or something, and they're reacting to something.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, which has got to be hard to act to nothing anyway. So like, more power to you.
No, for sure.
But that's what I think of with cheesy acting. I heard whispers about cheesy acting being in this, and I honestly couldn't tell you what it was. It's supposed to be maybe a cop or something.
I don't know.
Oh, it was the Wanda Sykes probably.
Was it the lady that was not Wanda Sykes?
She looked like Wanda Sykes, and she scared me. She had the same fear
she had that same,
in me when I see Wanda Sykes. And Regina.
Yep, Regina Moss.
Yeah.
I've seen her in other stuff. I just can't think of what it is right now.
I thought everyone was cool.
Yep, she had the.
And I thought they were gonna push that romance, and they didn't. Neither with the main detective boy and his. No,
because he's just kind of like doing his job in the movie. Like he's not doing the typical thing where it's like, oh, I'm gonna care for you and be the hero.
Well, yeah.
Like,
he doesn't do that to the main character of the movie, and he doesn't do that to the the chick that's giving him eyes.
Yeah, the chick that's totally
turns out
into
to be
him.
the director's waifu.
She was in Encino Man. That's funny.
I don't know what that is.
Volcano. This one that we watched. I tried watching with you with Pauly Shore and Brandon Fraser.
Brandon Fraser.
Woo. Yeah, it's.
That's just my reaction to Brandon Fraser. There he is. It's Brandon Fraser.
But no, I think that's where they might have been saying some of the cheesy acting came from was from her. But I didn't think it was cheesy. I liked it.
I didn't think it was cheesy.
I enjoyed
I thought
it's
it was realistic.
because she was having realistic reactions and like.
I was just like, wow, she's being stupid, or this doesn't make any sense.
It felt fantasy. The movie did. Like when you see it, it's clearly like fictional, like writing hardcore, but at the same time, it did have that little bit of grounds in reality when people's reaction, like hers, for example, or just anybody in general. Like,
I guess the other point was because I talked a little bit about it with my brother on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Nathan. He doesn't listen to these. But the hospital that they pan out and it's really big and it's on the side of a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
And like, oh, that's silly. They wouldn't do that. It's like, have you, like, I don't care. It looks cool.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
It looks awesome, and it kind of got like a Dracula vibe, like a old movie monsters kind of vibe where they set the scene, and it's just like
yes.
they didn't spend as much time in the hospital as they could have, because a lot of movies, that's all they would need to just. Like,
you're talking about the beginning, almost in the beginning there, where they showed like where.
Yes.
Yeah. Though there he does the doctor does the surgery to her because of the brother being connected to the back of her, and that's how they have the killer in there, and he's all like crazy looking and like some kind of weird. I felt a little bit of vibe from. There was a movie that came out a long time ago. I can't remember which one it is, but like, was it The Evil Within? I think it was. It might have been something like that, but it was almost along the same lines as like the Siamese twin being the evil one, like basket case, kind of that kind of thing. It felt a little bit like that, but like our new interpretation of basket case. Almost.
But he didn't make a basket case fun noise though.
No, he had this cool way of he had the cool way of communicating when he would do the like it was like he would tap in with like some kind of a telekinesis of some sort and like enter the electronics, and he would speak through the electronics. I thought that was pretty cool.
I thought that was
different.
Cool.
Yeah.
That all he had is his brain, because there's the theory of like if you're blind, your other senses go to compensate.
Yeah.
So if you couldn't do a lot of those things, then who knows what could happen.
Right.
Mostly because I'm not a scientist.
Science.
I have minimal medical knowledge.
Well, also, we're part of the crowd of people that are the few, the proud, I would say, that we try not to look too deep into movies. I mean, we still will openly be like, oh, like blah, 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 but I think especially lately, we've been watching a lot of stuff and just kind of accepting it and not trying to look in too deep to things and to be like, well, they should have did it like this. And we still do that from time to time because it's just a natural viewer thing, but I think it goes right to what I was talking about with you earlier about the desensitizing, that we have such a huge standard now for what qualifies as, masterpiece and breathtaking, and it's like, no man, like this is good. I enjoyed the movie. It was good, and I did like how we've been talking about the movie monster who was, what was his name again? I can't remember what it was. It's on here. But the bad guy, he had the weird look, which was really creepy too.
He had a Jack the Ripper vibe for me.
The backwards thing was really crazy for me.
Yeah.
The contortionist Valdo like.
Yeah, my argument to the people that are taking it seriously is that that's not physically possible, and
of course it's not.
There's a lot of things that aren't physically possible, but that's not the point. Your point is to go on a journey, tell a story, like feel emotions. I just was kind of thinking of, well, why didn't I take this completely seriously, but I got upset on story prompts in Godzilla vs. Kong? That doesn't make any sense. Because they're not real.
I think
but
it's
I was like, how they make that spaceship fake?
I think it's because you were closer to that. it's closer material to you, I think, and that's why it's so much more critical. Because I find myself doing that kind of thing with Batman. Like a little bit more than I like to. I don't voice it as much because it's Batman. Well, yeah, but the people taking it seriously, like, to this, it's like the whole thing, like we were talking about in the beginning, like you need to just accept the movie for how it is and just like enjoy it.
Yeah, and it's I don't think it's a dumb.
No, the concept's
like,
cool.
I feel like it's fresh.
It's fresh, but like I was saying before, it's familiar. It felt very like old sci-fi weird movie that you would watch like one night flipping through channels as like a little kid, you know, like it feels like one of those old school movies like Chud, or you know
I think you
like
fell asleep
Cujo.
during I tried to play this stuff for you and you fell
yeah
asleep.
like the stuff, like that's what I mean, like old school movies like that.
Well,
this
like it's
to
getting
me,
to the good part and you're just like, nah.
well, I mean, we owe a lot to the writers too. Like James Wong, he's already knocked it out of the park with a few other of what are now some of my favorite scary movies.
Yeah.
And he's even done which is one of my favorite comic book movies. He did Aquaman. Like, hell yeah, dude. He's killing it.
Because he relaxed and was like, hey, we're making movies. This should be fun.
Yeah.
Nathan said that he co-wrote the script with his wife as well. And that it was supposed to be like an homage to early 2000s horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that makes sense. But it's not far back in time enough to make an impact. They said that same thing about Back to the Future.
Well, she's been
in the 80s,
she's been helping them do stuff.
The 50s wasn't that far away.
Right.
So it's like, well, that's not a very good argument. Does not stand the test of time, my dear.
I think, but isn't that what some movies are supposed to be? Is they're supposed to be like a timestamp? You know, watch Tron. Both of them, they're both timestamped in like the era.
Yeah.
You know? So I mean, some movies that's kind of like a big foundation of what they are.
Was it Warrior with the gangs?
Yeah.
It's just
Warriors.
Like you can smell. You can smell the decade of that movie, or like the crop tops,
the realistic environment, like how everything was dirty and like yeah, for sure.
It's like an interesting snapshot.
The other writer in this with James Wong is a woman named Ingrid Bisou. I hope I'm saying her last name right.
Like biscuit, if you took away.
She's Romanian.
Ooh.
So she went to a German college. Go through. We're at the same time we're reading her background here. And no, I'm not gonna.
You're listening to research in real time.
In real time research. But yeah, she's
make a little bell icon.
She's been working with that would be cool. She's been working with James Wong, it seems, for a while, because it looks like she helped him do The Nun, and she was in
I wonder if that's
The Conjuring. I'm not sure. I guess we could do more research into it, but I want to look back and see what the other writers are doing. We're awful podcasters. I don't know why you listen to us, but we thank you anyways. And if you've been listening to us, you should hit the subscribe and the like and share us with people. Or I don't even care if you subscribe, just like us and share us around. We want to get around.
Yeah.
We want you to put us around.
Yeah, take us places.
Whoa, look at this. Luke Cage, producer, writer, and then The Witches of East End, producer, and The 100 producer.
So some CW stuff?
So, what's that? Akila Cooper?
Yeah, she doesn't have a face on IMDb.
She doesn't have a face on IMDb.
Someone put her face in there. I'm sure if you Google it, you can see her face, but why isn't it in IMDb?
Bring me the face of Akila Cooper.
Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, wow, that'd be directed by James Wong. That'd be pretty good. Don't believe what you see on Google, though, because Google says you can watch for free on Tubi, and we watch a lot of Tubi, and I have not seen it once on there.
No, like,
but if you have
I think
HBO
it's in
Max,
theaters, and it's
yes.
HBO Max.
Yep, HBO Max. You can watch it for the next couple of weeks, I think, or the next week, and then you can go to theaters and watch it and check it out. If things weren't as available as they are now to the public, I think we would have definitely watched this in theaters.
Yeah, this would have been on the list, because
sure.
I don't know about you, but when I saw YouTube advertisements for this movie, and it's just like, James Wong, scary, Do it.
He's
And it's
doing
like
it.
that was it. It was like that was all the teaser.
Yeah.
And I purposely didn't do any research because I knew that's all I needed.
It looked, like I said, that was one of the ones I wanted to see. What did you think about the bad guy's weapon?
His poetic justice.
Yeah, because he takes the surgeon award from the lady who messed him up as a kid, and he breaks it apart
That
and
medical
resharpens
symbol
it. Yeah.
that I'm a terrible student and I forgot what it was called. Some sort of old Greekish, like it's a snake wrapped around
Yeah.
a thing. So I thought that was pretty smart that they were like, hey, if you just sharpen this.
Cause, yeah,
So
he
was
kinda
he in
makes
the
it.
doctor's office one day? I'm like, man, I could like make that into a weapon.
Who knows? But it's almost like he turns it into like a punch dagger. Or like
Yeah.
a sword size, like a short sword Bowie knife kind of size punch dagger.
Well, if
'cause-
it's technically her body, which is pretty small.
Yeah, but that's where the whole, like I told you, it almost brushes up against, like, well, I don't know if I didn't say it earlier, but it almost brushes up against like sci-fi in a sense, because
Yeah,
she's doing the whole adrenaline thing where she's like
Yeah.
flipping people over and doing weird like acrobatics and stuff like
my
that.
favorite movies though don't fit in the genre category.
Mhm.
They share.
They share
genres.
genre. I like that.
Like
yeah.
it's not a horror movie. It's a horror thriller sci-fi movie. It's like that's gonna be way better than I'm watching a horror movie on Netflix.
Well, yeah, because you don't got to stay in the confines of like that specific type of film. Like you're making a drama, that means it has to be semi-realistic, or it has to be at least extremely realistic and keep it in real world, heavy quotes. But if you make like a sci-fi drama, well then that's when you get your, and despite what people may say, but you get like Fifth Element. I think you can be considered that somewhat of a drama.
Well,
there is drama in it.
Firefly was
Firefly.
considered a Western sci-fi, which is just like looks like you sneeze and put two things together. But dang, does that work
Or like
real good?
our suspense movies, like the suspenseful sci-fi movies are really good too. That's how you had like the Red Planet. Was that what one was called with Val Kilmer?
When you said suspense, all I thought of was Suspense, which is an old radio program from the 20s.
Suspense.
Because I'm ancient.
We are both equally.
They're on YouTube. Listen to that while you're working. Make it go faster.
Yeah.
Pro tip. Alert.
Alert.
What I was expecting was she's alone in the house.
Mhm.
She sees ghosts.
Mhm.
And her husband works third shift or whatever, and he doesn't believe her. Why are you keeping the lights on? I'm paying for it. I did
Face
a
your
slapping.
demons.
That was slapping, I guess. Yeah.
No,
And it wasn't anything.
I didn't go into expecting anything. I watched the one trailer for it, and I think that's another thing that we've been doing really well is like we'll watch a trailer to something, and it's like that's all the only one we'll watch.
Yeah.
Like the Batman trailer that came out, that's coming out for next year. I've only seen the one, and that's probably the only one.
It's not this October. It's next October.
It's next October. Yeah. Or at least I think it is. I don't remember. But see, I haven't watched I don't watch trailers. But
You crushed my dreams.
back to the movie really quick. I don't know. I thought it was cool, all in all, and I like the look and the design. Again, if we're gonna I guess gloss over everything.
Yeah, the compositions of the shots were like freakishly good.
'Cause I remember-
no reason. Like it had no
Yeah.
business being like.
I remember telling you that too when we were watching. I was like, "This is really shot really well." Like,
Usually you get the Halloween POV
the
if
over
they're
the
trying
shoulder.
to be artsy and they're like, "Look, it's a homage."
I did like
you're just copying something.
I really did enjoy the scene where they finally reveal like the bad guy thing, and like how I said, he ends up being the whole growth in the back of the head thing.
Which was gross to
It was
look at.
weird, yeah, because her scalp like opens up and you can see like something of like what wants to be like just an eye and a mouth, and the hair's kind of hanging down, and he kind of runs around moving like Valdo, like fighting backwards and crawling like a spider, and no, it was just that was so cool to see that scene where like you see like the killer instinct that he has come out, and he's fighting all those cops, and it's almost like they do it in a couple of one shots. They do they do the Steadicam thing and they follow it for a good couple of seconds at a time.
I think I remember like my mouth opening.
Yeah.
And then like grinning because I'm like, this is so weird.
Well,
I love it.
It feels out of place, but if it would be like
in a great way though.
It did. It did. And I don't mean that in any bad way, but
it.
also it's kind of cool how they like do a thing where it's like here's this big crazy shot. In any other movie of like if it would have been like a Michael Myers movie or if it would have been like a ghost movie or whatever,
that'd
it would
be
have been
rad if they did it for a Michael Myers movie.
That would be kind of cool.
See, do more of that.
Because you would see a bunch of if it was like a ghost movie, you would see a bunch of flashing lights and then close-ups on the guy's face, and then you would just see like the wall with blood on it.
Yeah.
And then it feels like your typical slasher movie or whatever. It would be like an over-the-top like gutting of one cop, and like the knife goes through him, and then they pull it out, and you see like his balls fly against the wall, and like his guts go into the vacuum cleaner, and then like somehow the guy like screams, and he screams so hard that his teeth fly out his mouth or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't anything like that, but it was still pretty graphic. But
it wasn't I'm gonna take the main character and I'm gonna choke them.
No, it wasn't
and throw
that.
them against the wall.
Because this guy was trying to fight.
Tear a hole in the universe. It's like, nope, I slashed that fool.
Didn't
do that.
I did like how the female cop lady, the one that came in there with him.
Wow, I'm just gonna call her Wanda Sykes.
Oh, that's so mean. Don't call her Wanda Sykes. She has her name. She has her own name.
She has her own name. I'm saying it as a compliment.
They're not giving her name. Oh, okay.
Regina.
The cop Regina runs in there. And she comes at him with a shotgun because everybody's using pistols and trying to get close to him and shoot him and stuff. And she almost takes him out. And she almost gets him, and then he manages to get that one slash on her. And I love when she goes to help the cop up, the other guy, the guy cop.
That's why she stopped attacking.
Yeah, and she's walking away.
What would happen if she just like, you know what, I'm getting a grenade.
And they do that pull shot. They pull the shot back so you see the whole entire room, and he gets the chair and he shit chucks it at her, and he hits her at the whole other side of the room. I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah, I remember, like, I don't know if I was supposed to laugh, but I laughed because I was like, whoa, that was such a good shot!
Officer, what was his name? Kikoa. Which is such a cool name.
Is his real name George?
Yeah.
That's fun.
His real name is George Young. But yeah, it was just really cool, and the way she overcomes it, like in the end, was pretty sweet too. Like it was a whole mind over matter thing, and I think once it clicked with her, she realized it and goes back and uses her triggering mechanism that they give in there, which was him like messing with her whole entire life, and her just being like enough is enough kind of thing.
Yeah.
And fighting him off in the mind, letting him think he wins, and then just putting him in a cage.
Well, because they got me. They got me with that double ending there.
Oh, I did. Yeah, and then
that's why, I told Nathan, you just watch it. I know you heard some maybe a horrible thing, but you do that for every movie because everyone's got a problem with some things. Like their teeth were too white. I didn't like the color of their eyes. Why did they point it like this? Her nose is too big. I don't like him. He's ugly. They should have cast someone else. Like. It's movies. It's fun. It's just like...
Yeah. No, I agree.
Get your popcorn and shut up. Just shut up and eat your popcorn.
I plan on watching this movie again.
Me too.
Just to get a better feel of it. When it comes out, to be able to buy, I'll probably end up buying it.
Yeah.
If I see it, yeah, I'll probably end up buying it. But, would I like to see another one? Honestly, no.
Yeah.
These are one of those kind of movies where, like, no, leave this one. This one is nice how it is. You can do another movie and maybe mention something about it, or have the character make a cameo or something like that, or maybe wait later on down the line and then give a second one.
What about if it's like a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen kind of thing? Like a Suicide Squad kind of.
Oh yeah, but with like crazy.
Yeah, so it's like you gotta ask your brother to come out.
That'd be kind of cool.
I don't want to. It's like, well, what do you do for the team? Nothing. And then
or the government gets a hold of her and tries to make her brother like a military weapon.
That'd
be kind of cool.
That'd be kind of fun. But I wouldn't want it as a direct sequel. I would want it a part of something else because I feel like too much would be too much.
Well, not just that too. Like I was saying, that I would like to see a bigger gap between part 1s and part 2s. Honestly, nowadays. But yeah, all in all, yes. If you haven't watched *Malignant*, watch it. And if you haven't watched it,
because we didn't spoil everything.
We didn't spoil everything. But if you haven't watched it, watch it. And if you haven't watched it, again, why are you listening to us?
Yeah.
Because we always give away.
Weird.
We always give away everything all the time. Like,
you started out not meaning to, and then you were like, "You know what? I want to talk about."
I never intend on keeping like spoiler alert kind of thing. It's like if you listen to our podcast, you know that we're gonna just talk about whatever. We do that. But if you like the movie, comment on it. Let us know what you think. Share, do all that good Facebook, YouTube, Twitter stuff that you all do with videos and whatnot. But yeah.
Make a Vine about it.
Make a Vine about it, even. But yeah, thank you for joining us for another episode of Hardcore Fiction, and we hope to hear from you all again. We're gonna probably post a video game and
video game and us
with a dash conversating some more. We haven't picked a game yet. We were gonna pick one eventually and just talk over it and do whatever. But yeah. Talk to you soon. Thanks for watching and listening and whatever else you've done with it. You dirty fools. Bye.
Bye.